Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 3633. Earliest finish time for land and water rights 1. This is an easy problem that's all about observation, so let's start. We have two categories of rights, land rights and water rights. So we are given these four arrays, land start time, land duration, water start time, and water duration. Every value in land start time corresponds to the earliest time the ith land right can be boarded, and every value in land duration is how long the ith land right lasts. So, if we're looking at these two arrays at index 0, here we have one ride which can start at 2 as a minimum and has a duration of 4. So if we decide to start at 2, this ends at 2 plus 4, meaning 6. Okay? Now here we have another land ride which starts at 8 and ends at 9, 8 plus 1. And we have the same for water rides. Here we have only one water ride. Now, we are a tourist who must experience exactly one ride from each category in any order, and we have to return the earliest possible time at which we can finish both rides. If we are given this input, we have 2 land rides and 1 water ride, and we have to get the earliest possible time at which we can finish both rides. So here the solution is the following. We can take the land ride corresponding to index 0, meaning this, and then the water ride. So the land ride ends at 2 plus 4, meaning 6, and at 6 we can start the water ride. So the final time will be 6 plus 3, which is equal to 9. Given that this is the earliest possible time at which we can finish both rides, this is the result. And here you can see the same more clearly. This is a very visual problem, so I highly recommend you to draw what's happening. Here we have 2 land rides. One starts from 2 as a minimum and has a duration of 4, so we can take this land ride. We have another one starting at 8 and has a duration of 1, and we have a water ride from 6 with a duration of 3. Now, remember that these are minimum starting times. So we could take this ride starting from here, for example, and with a duration of 4, this would end up at 8. Now we are trying to get the minimum possible finish time among these two timelines, considering that we have to take one land ride and one water ride. So here the obvious solution is we can take the land ride starting from 2 with a duration of 4, this ends at 6, and at 6 we can start this water ride with a duration of 3 and end at 9. This is the minimum finish time, so this is the result. Now here we have the constraints, and we know that we can have 100 land rides and 100 water rides as a maximum. And this means that we can think in terms of big O of n times m time complexity. Why? Well, because 100 to the power of 2 is a relatively small number that we can handle. And this means that we can try every combination of 2 rides. First we can try these 2 rides and then these 2. The required time complexity for doing this is big O of n times m. Why? Well, because for every land ride we are trying every combination with all the water rides. So first we try this, then we move to the next land ride, and from here we try this combination and so on. So let's say that we are looking at this pair. We don't know what's next, we are only considering this pair. Now we have 2 choices. We can pick these 2 rides in any order. So one choice is we first take the land ride and then the water ride, and the other choice is we first take the water ride and then the land ride. Given that we are trying to get the minimum possible finish time, we should start with the ride corresponding to the minimum starting time, in this case 2. So we start with this ride. So what's the finish time if we decide to start with this ride and we are only considering these 2 rides? Well, we take the start time 2 plus the duration of this ride 4 plus the duration of the water ride. In this case it's 3. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. This is fine, but we are missing something. Now let's say that the start time of this ride is 7, so we don't have this part. and we are still considering this pair. The minimum start time here is still 2, so maybe you are thinking about doing 2 plus the duration of this ride, 4 plus the duration of the water ride, which is 2 in this case. The result here is 8, but as you can see, this is wrong. The result should be 9. So what are we missing? The problem is that we have to consider this gap also, which means that we should take the maximum between the land start plus land duration, meaning 2 plus 4, so now we are standing here at 6. We take the maximum between this and the start time for the water ride, in this case 7. The maximum between 2 plus 4 and 7 is 7, and now we can take 7 plus the water duration, which is 2, and that's how we get 9. Now this is the correct result. Going back to the original input, first we try this pair and the finish time is 9, so the result up to this moment is 9. And now we can try the next pair. And now here we can do the same. First we take the minimum start time between 8 and 6, which is 6, so now we can take the maximum between 6 plus the duration of this ride, which is 3, and the start time of this ride, which is 8. So now this will give us the start time of the second ride. The maximum between 6 plus 3 and 8 is equal to 9. So the second ride has to start at 9. Now we need to add here the duration of the second ride. Given that now this is the first ride and this is the second ride, so the duration here is 1, which means that here we add 1. The result here is 10. And just to be clear, this means that we start this ride right after this ride, okay? And given that this has a duration of 1, the final result in this case would be 10. Now the minimum between 10 and what we have in the result is 9, so we keep 9 here. Now we have already tried every combination, so we can return 9. As I said before, time complexity for this is big O of n times m, and space complexity is big O of 1. So with this in mind, now let's go with the code. First we can say that n is the length of land start time and m is the length of water start time. The result is initially positive infinity because we're looking for the minimum possible number. And now for I in range n, for j in range m, which means for every possible pair, land start and land duration are equal to land start time I and land duration I. And we can do something very similar for water, so this is W, this is W. Here we take water start time at J, and this is water duration at J. Now we can check if land start is smaller or equal to water start. This means that we can start with the land ride, so the result is the minimum between what we already have in the result and the maximum between land start plus land duration, meaning the first ride, and water start plus water duration. Remember that now this is the second ride. Here we can copy this and say else we do the opposite. The result is the minimum between result and the maximum between water start plus water duration and land start, and after this we add the duration of the second ride. And after trying every possible pair, down here we can return result. So let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's efficient enough. There's a solution that's more efficient, but I will leave that one for part 2. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.